Alright, let's try this again. What I'm going to try and do is give you a little quickie video here to show you that you can build your own anvil. You really don't have to go out and spend $2 grand. This is a brand new camera. I'm still trying to figure out how to work it. On a damn 100-year-old anvil to get an anvil. Harbor Freight offers a cast iron anvil. $60 for a 55-pounder. Cast iron's not great for somebody that's new to it. Hammer control is essential with a cast iron anvil. You hit that anvil, you will damage it. Their Doyle anvil, I really don't have a problem with it, other than the cut tail. To me, that's wasted workspace. I don't understand the thinking there. A guy buying an anvil needs that table. And the more table they cut off to make it pretty, the less workspace you get for your money. Makes no sense to me. I don't see a viable use for that cut corner. For those cut corners in the back. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple little tools real quick. Anybody can make these. They can be configured to any combination of Pritchett and Hardy holes. You would just need a longer blocking device to make this bender. The quick clamp, to me, this just works. I like it. I'm going to bring this camera over here and show you what I'm talking about. Got to turn the little screen around so we can see what's going on. There we go. Right there's perfect. Okay. This, just for bending steel, 3/4 inch turn down, 1 inch shoulder. This makes it 1.5 inches. This makes it 1 7/8. This slides back. If I got 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/2 inch, as long as that steel's red hot, I can wrap it right around that. Tie it down. Okay? That's a worthwhile thing that anybody can make. Quick clamp. Normal quick clamp. Drop her in there on your, wait, missed it. Drop her in on your steel. Once you get it on the steel, tap the back. That'll hold the steel pretty good, but you can still wiggle it. Give that clamp a half turn. You're not moving that. You can drill it, grind it, cut it, do whatever you need to do. To me, this is worthwhile. That's a $5 clamp from Harbor Freight, welded to a piece of 3/4 inch round bar stock. Makes a decent adapter. That's worthwhile to me. That's a 272. It's the third one I built. Sold the other two to guys who liked them the way they were at what I was willing to sell them for. Wood lathe, metal lathe, drill press, little tiny bandsaw. That's an argon tank for when I'm running aluminum or stainless with that machine. That is a Vevor welder that does stick and TIG, and it does both of them equally well. It's also got a plasma cutter with it. And once I hook that plasma cutter to 220 volts, she cuts 1/4 inch steel just fine. This a little 130 I bought to replace a Wen that detonated. Little did I know they'd have parts to me for that Wen in 3 days, or I wouldn't have bought that one. But I ended up giving the Wen away to somebody who needed it worse than me. I'm going to replace that with a 142 built along the same lines as my 272. This is my big anvil. What you have here is a piece of 24-inch I-beam. That top flange right there, 6 inches wide, 6.5, and 20 inches long. That work surface. This horn out here, we got 11 inches of horn, plus that workable step works good. This is set at 32 inches. To me, that's the proper height for an anvil for most guys. If you're somewhere between 5'6" and 6 foot, 32 inches is going to be about ideal for you. I've been beating on this thing for 3.5 years. She seems to be holding up pretty good, as far as I can tell. It's got some dings in it, but the edges are still sound, still works good. And I use her pretty regularly. That 2-burner forge, notice the positioning there. Work coming out of that forge goes right to this anvil. All I literally have to do is rotate it with it and drop it in the anvil. That's my quench tank right there. That's a 25-pound treadle hammer. I built this because my shoulders and elbows are starting to get old. I had a brain fart here and decided I was going to cable this to that. Well, that doesn't work. You step on the pedal and you can't go anywhere. This is one of these electric over hydraulic wood splitters turned into a hydraulic press. This is a seriously functional device, guys. I paid about $2.25 for the splitter. I bought it at Walmart.com back in late 2019 to split firewood, and it worked good. I got no complaints about this as a splitter. When I decided to make a press out of it, I built adapters for it that I can pop right back off of there and get my splitter back. You take out 2 cap screws, 2 9/6 bolts, and this whole thing comes off of there. Extra dies stored down below. I got rid of all their control crap and took it all down to a pedal. Step on the pedal and run your saw. You can stop the press so that it only closes a little bit, makes it cycle faster. This needs rollers added here to hold this true in the ways. Needs a latch here to keep the splatter from riding up. Outside of that, I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, I'm going to pause this while we head down to the main shop and see if I can do this without screwing this video up again. Okay, we made it back inside. It's still snowing out there. This is a big shop. This is the anvil we're talking about here. This anvil is made out of 4140. What you have here, 15 3/4 inches of deck, 7 inches of horn. It's 4 inches wide and 6 inches tall. And what guys will say is, you can't build an anvil at home. Well, I beg to differ. I'm going to set this down. You can see the anvil, right? Most of them go by ring test or bounce test. To me, that's 75 to 80% bounce. It's got a decent ring. I've not worked on this little anvil. I haven't made one. But what I can tell you is there's no reason you can't build this at home. I don't understand the attitude that says you can't. When I built this, the wheels, as soon as you tip it back, you can roll it around. That damn thing's heavy. The anvil itself only weighs about 40 pounds. But that block of wood, that some gun's heavy. I think that's pine, not certain. Filled the cracks up with resin, sanded it all off. The wheels, you pull a pin, you can take the wheels and axle off. Get them out of your way. I didn't make this my foundry or my forge for the simple reason it's a lot harder to heat and it's impossible to cool. But I do have a drill press, grinder, bandsaw, full commercial table saw, my hoist, my torch, and this horizontal bandsaw, which I bought back, holy crap, 2000, for like 150 bucks. This thing runs sometimes 8 hours a day. I definitely got my money's worth out of that Harbor Freight horizontal bandsaw. Did a few little mods to it so I could get better cuts out of it. Caught this piece of bridging loose. Took that out of there because it was in the way. Crushed that housing right there a little bit just to make more clearance and cut bigger pieces. There's what that anvil's made out of. That's a hunk of 1x4 4140. This is half by 2. Wow. That's half by 2. That's what's left of that. I use that to make tools for guillotines. There's some more drop of tool steel down here, but most of what's down here is mild steel on this bench, with the exception of those 2 pieces. The rest of it's in a rack out in the building next door or up above. We're going to head back up above because it's kind of chilly in here. 48 degrees. Stove's lit, but I just filled it up this morning, intending to be on and done with this video. And this is my fourth attempt at shooting it, guys. This is the building I was talking about. I got a rack of steel right here just inside the door. Runs down this wall. There's a compound miter in there, a planer, a joiner, table router, bench grinder. In here I got a small shear, brake, pinch pyramid roller, and a bender. Also a rack of sheet aluminum and sheet steel. This is my little foundry from the outside. I built that door right there so I could open and close it, but I've never actually done that. Underneath that diamond plate is a 5-inch vise. Wow, cold out there. Right now I think we're running about mid-20s. I'm gonna shut this down for a second. Okay. That was fun. Holy crap. It's cold out there. My damn toes are frozen. It's tennis shoes, don't you know? But I just want to make sure that people are aware that you can build a friggin' anvil. It's not that big a deal. I don't know what that steel would cost to buy if you bought it from McMaster's Car or Online Metals. Probably you have to mortgage your house to do it. They're high. Their prices are, wow, off the scale high. When I bought that piece of 1x4 4140, I paid $6.99 for 10 feet. That comes in sticks 10 to 12 feet. Seems to be random. I think it was about 180 for a 12-foot stick of that 1/2 x 2. And I bought some 5/8 x 2 and a couple pieces of round stock. My total ticket was $1,000, and I got enough tools still to last me all winter. Anyway, anybody's got any questions, you can PM me or email me, whatever. You can contact me through this site somehow. I'm not quite sure how that's done. And I've discovered that making these damn videos way more trouble than I thought. Every time I do this, I have problems. And at least now, I have a real camera with a real mic, so hopefully you can hear me and see what the heck I'm trying to show you. If you look behind me, you'll see my old camera right there. It's a webcam with a 16-foot leash, and the sound was just awful. Anyway, let's plug it in and see if we got a video. Thanks, guys. Talk to you then. Bye.